Okay, what's up, folks? I still have, you know what I'm saying, issues, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm talking to myself. I apologize, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So, again, it's Joey. You know what I mean? If you don't know, most people know me by Snowroc. I'm a white boy, grew up in Southeast San Diego, joined the neighborhood Crips, spent most of my life incarcerated in some kind of cage. Um, been out, been out longer than I've been out since I was 9. Just 7 years, living my best life. Um, all legit, you know what I'm saying? I got a good job, you know what I'm saying? I've been married five years now, you know what I'm saying? Everything keeps getting better, life keeps, you know what I'm saying, keeps moving forward, you know what I mean? And I'm in it. I'm here. I'm still here. So just telling my story, I mean, trying to get it out there, you know what I'm saying? Give people a chance to listen. Some of it's funny. Uh, so, right now, I wanted to go back to, if you guys haven't been watching, you need to go back. You know what I'm saying? And check out. I started off doing the story from when I became the name. The name started Snowroc. So that was 1991 in county jail because I was having, I was going through a lot of issues. You know what I'm saying? Because I was white and I was running with the blacks, and that was, you know what I'm saying? A whole new ball of wax. So this one's a little different. This one is me when I was in Corcoran. I was in Corcoran level 3. Uh, this was 1992. I was on the sea yard. Uh, I had a big homie that was my cellie, my big homie guy from my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? He was like one of the biggest dudes on the yard. Had like some 22-inch arms. Monster swole. But he was on the weight pile 4 5 hours a day. I mean, he was doing his thing. That was what he dedicated his time to. You have a lot of time on your hands, so now, guy was like 6'4", big old giant, and being somebody selling, you learn a lot about him. So, I mean, he had told me stories about how, I'm saying, he was always a skinny kid, but then after, I'm saying, get locked up time after time after time, because that was the life we were involved in. Because if you was out there doing dirt and doing crime all the time, eventually you're gonna get caught up. That's the way it goes. I don't think nobody's exempt unless you can pay your way out of it. But yeah, so uh, one time the police they brought some Olympic weights onto the yard, and they just wanted to see who could lift the most, and you know what I mean, who, what I'm saying, how much, and all this. And it was a big old spectacle, because I'm saying all races was like, what the hell, So they had some like bodybuilders, I'm saying, who came in, and they was there, and they was, I'm saying, getting up under some real weight. So, I'm saying, it was like, I'm saying, I asked homie, I'm saying, why he didn't go over there? He's like, man, I ain't showing off for the pigs, fuck them. And I was like, I mean, okay. I never looked at it like that. I mean, I was just looking at it like, oh, hey, they brought some weights onto the yard. Why the fuck they bring some weights onto the yard? But what I'm saying? There was at one point in time, if you get too big, too large, I'm saying, from lifting and everything, they scared to let you out. What I mean? And that's some real stuff. What I mean? Because I know a few people. But like I said, I spent most of my life incarcerated in some kind of cages. So in there, you have a lot of time. So a lot of people, what I'm saying, choose to just, what I'm saying, focus on, what I'm saying, that. Some people, what I'm saying, focus on drugs. Some people, what I'm saying, focus on education. I was, what I'm saying, I was going through a whole lot. I was trying to survive, and what I'm saying, being a white boy in prison, it wasn't your. I wasn't. I didn't have a long uh, life expectancy. But you have a lot of time in your hands. So whatever you dedicate your time to is what you can accomplish a lot, because you have a lot of time. Really, I've done a lot of things. I've studied and the one thing, is like I found myself. So, that was something good for me. I don't know about everybody else, but you know, um, Corcoran was a place where violence was a daily thing. Literally, this was the early 90s. I got there in 1992. So during this time, they had a lot going on with the staff. And the staff were, doing some foul stuff. When I first got there, they sent me a message, and I got beat. I ended up running my mouth into a one-on-one fight with a CO who took off his belt and his billy club and this stuff and left it in the office and came into my cell. Had him open up my cell. I'm in the cell by myself, and he came up in there, and we got down. But he came in there trying to grab on me. Now this was an officer. This dude. I'm sure he was picked on a lot. Because he was half black and half white, and he wasn't a little dude. He was about my size. So had a little size on him. Was young. Thought he was tough, and came up in there. Thinking he was going to wrestle with me in the cell because he came in. He didn't come in to shoot shoulders. Just knuckle up. He came in trying to grab me. So once he tried to grab me, I'm making you touch. You gonna touch the locker. You gonna touch the bunk. You gonna touch the wall. I'm bouncing you off all kinds of stuff. The cell will beat you up if you don't know how to use the cell. The cell will beat you up more than anything else. Because when you fight in a little cell, I'm gonna put up some pictures, and show you what I'm talking about. That cell is small. It's basically a bathroom that anybody at your house. Imagine your bathroom, strip everything out of it, put in 2 bunk beds on one side of the wall, put in a toilet on the other side with a sink on it, and some lockers. That's it. And it's not living. It's not living because when you're in there, you're not living. You're just surviving. And I spent almost 20 years surviving, just surviving. And I feel good now. I'm out here living. I'm out here. I'm out here experiencing things, doing new things, and I work hard. I go to work. I work 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And then I get off time, and part of that time I'm here with y'all, I got, some good content coming. Keep watching, but it goes on and on, and I've been doing like I just did a video, Snowroc's Big Bear birthday. Go check it out. Now I'm working on my technical skills, my little, editing. It's a new thing out, check me out, let me know what you think. At the same time, I did another video called My Community, Crips and Bloods Working Together. So go check that one out. My Community, Crips and Bloods Working Together. It got some good stuff in there. But it shows some of the things I've been doing in the community. I'm not trying to, blow my own whistle, brag, because I'm just trying to do what I can. My main priority is take care of me. If I take care of me, then I can take care of my family. If I take care of my family, then, if I can take care of somebody else along the way, I want to try and help because people help me along my path to get to where I am. So it's only right I pass that along. So that's what, that's what we try and focus on. But it's a lot. When I was in Corcoran, in 1992, and it was a lot, because, after the beating and all that, and I got out the shoe and I went to the main line, they let me go to the level 3 yard. So I went out there and, you know what I'm saying, I had a big homie, you know what I'm saying, who moved me up in his cell, you know what I mean, and he was solid, you know what I mean, he was a big homie, you know what I'm saying, that had been doing time, you know what I'm saying, a lot of time. And so he laced me up. He gave me, you know what I'm saying, he gave me the game. And he taught me how to survive. And it's hard for people to understand, you know what I'm saying? But when you're in a situation like that, you ain't guaranteed to get out of here. And especially being a white crip, you know what I mean? So this is something I think about every day. You know what I mean? It's you have to, you know what I'm saying, stay on point. You have to be, you know what I'm saying, on deck ready to go. You know what I'm saying? When the door opens, your feet is on the floor, your shoes are on. You're ready for whatever. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Ain't no sleeping in, ain't no, you know what I mean, just, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever you want to do because, you know what I'm saying, you never know what's coming. When that door opens, you know what I'm saying, you never know if somebody's coming in. Or, you know what I mean, what's gonna happen when you step out. Because a lot of crazy stuff goes on. But Corcoran back in the day, it was this was '92, so Corcoran had only been open for like 5 years, and at the time it was like the biggest prison in California. And I try to find some pictures, and I'm new, you know what I mean, at this, so I'm still working on it. But a lot of the stuff from the '90s was you know what I'm saying, wiped or you know what I'm saying, cleared out or you know what I'm saying, harder for me to find or they wanted me to pay for it. I wasn't paying for it. I'm penny pinching. It's hard on the yard, you know what I mean, so I wasn't able to find a lot of good footage, but you know what I'm saying, I got a couple pictures I want to show y'all of different stuff of the cells and how it is in the buildings, because like the building is shaped like a horseshoe, but not closed in at the end, just you know what I'm saying, wide. And then there's three sections. It's A section, B section, C section. And then the cells start from 101 or on the second tier, 201, all the way around to 49. So that's 50 cells on the top, 50 cells on the bottom. It's it's There's tables spread out in the middle, and then there's sections like either A section will be the whites and Hispanics area, and then the black section and the others, and you know what I'm saying, whoever the norteños, if you know what I'm saying, they're here. But you know what I mean, that's the way it would be. And they have certain rules, like you can't walk in between the tables of, you know what I'm saying, other races, because you never know if you're gonna turn around and stab somebody or do whatever. So it's a security thing. And you know what I mean, it's situations where people didn't know and walked, and you know what I'm saying, just it kicked off right then because he didn't know. And then this guy, he's sitting down and he don't know. He thinks this guy might be coming to stab him because he ain't supposed to be walking through the tables. So he jumped up and stabbed him, and then you know what I'm saying, somebody from another race seen it and came over to help him, and then his friend. And next thing you know what I'm saying, it's a riot in the building. But then the alarm goes off in the building, you know what I mean, and then somebody was having some issues out on the yard. So then while this is going on, somebody figures, oh, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to clean up this, you know what I mean, mess, whatever that we got here. And so while the police are all running over there, once they get over there, you know what I'm saying, then they take off over there. And that's how you clean up and you ain't got nobody around. So you got time. Sometimes it's just a distraction. Sometimes it's, you know what I'm saying, a major riot. You never know. I remember one time, you know what I'm saying, on in Donovan, we ran halfway across the yard because there was a riot on the opposite side of the yard, and we were way over here. So we ran all the way over there, and we was running alongside police, looking at them like, hey, what the hell? But then we get over there, and it was a south side and a white riot. So we just, you know what I'm saying, fell to the side, sat down. But we gonna find out, you know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying, frontliner, you know what I'm saying, you gonna go, you know what I'm saying, whoever it is. That's like I read, you know what I'm saying, about how SEALs, you know what I mean? When SEALs, when they function, they run to the gunfire. They're not the ones running away from it. So when they hear gunfire, they're running towards it. If you frontliner, you running towards the get down, whatever it is, to find out. You know what I mean? Once you see your people ain't involved, you know what I'm saying, then, you know what I'm saying, you know, you can do whatever. And, you know, that's the way it is, because you gotta be there for your folks, because, you know, it's it gets bad up in there. You know what I mean? When one group is stronger than everybody else, then they try and, you know what I mean, you know, push their weight around, and you know what I mean, you know, that's when, you know what I'm saying, you know, stuff gets started. So when I was in Corcoran, we had a officer, a floor officer. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not gonna say his name, but this dude, he was cooler than a polar bear's toenails. He was the type, you know what I'm saying, young, you know what I'm saying, you know, Hispanic. He's, you know what I'm saying, here to get his check. He's not trying to do no extras. He's not trying to do no work. He sits in his office and does his thing, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that's his business. And then he lets y'all know, you know what I'm saying, look, don't make my time hard. Don't make me do no paperwork. Y'all good? Then if you have a problem, you know what I'm saying, you know, and everybody knew in that building, you know what I'm saying, you know, if you got a problem, wait until Luna's on. You know what I mean? You know, hey Luna, let me take it up and go clean up that empty cell over there. All right. You know, so he'll call the tower and tell him to pop the door. You know, two people go up in there. You know what I mean? You got a problem, you deal with that problem. You know what I mean? You know, afterwards, you know what I'm saying, you come out. Whoever stay and clean up that cell, that's the one who lost. You know what I mean? And that was the way it was. You know what I mean? And once you come about that cell, that shit is over with. Now this was for, you know what I'm saying, the blacks. I'm running with the blacks. So it was a situation where, you know, I had, you know what I'm saying, you know, young, dumb, and you know what I'm saying, you know, did some, you know what I'm saying, you know, some young dummy shit, you know what I mean, you know, and accidentally disrespected some Adamu. I did not, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't intentional. I was just, you know what I'm saying, fucking around. So he took the offense. So because he was offended, he wanted to get down. So, you know what I mean, you know, I found out, you know what I'm saying, about the cell. But now at the time, my cellie was the big old giant, the big homie, you know what I mean, you know, so, you know, y'all got a problem, y'all take it up in that cell. So this dude, you know what I'm saying, figure, you know what I mean, you know, he figured, you know what I'm saying, you know, he gonna whoop on the white boy. It didn't work out that way because he stayed and cleaned up the cell. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't a big issue, you know what I mean, you know. Afterwards, I apologized. I didn't mean to disrespect him, you know what I mean, you know, because in there, I learned quick, you know what I mean, you know, that the blacks got to stick together, you know what I mean, you know, because, you know what I'm saying, you know, I might need them to have my back. At least look like it, you know what I mean? And that was the reality of it, because that's what the homie told me, you know what I'm saying, you just want to make sure it looks like. Because when it's time to get cracking, most people are going to sit down. That's the reality. Most people, fuck that white boy. He ain't from my hood. And that's the real. You know what I mean? You know. But then, you know what I'm saying, I learned along the way, you know what I'm saying, that that's not always true. Because, you know what I mean, you know, it was a time in Lancaster, level 4, when I got stabbed. And, you know what I'm saying, you know, the dude stabbed me. I thought he socked me. So I chased after him, you know what I mean, but he stabbed me right behind the ear. I got 6 stitches. So I thought he socked me and he ran off. So other Crips seen him because they was joking around because he walked through the blacks, like I was talking about how the you don't walk through racial areas if you're from a different race. So this white boy walked through the black area by the basketball court in the grass, and that's when he stabbed me. But it was a setup. He was trying to lead me to his friends who were supposed to get me. I'm not paying. I'm oblivious. All I think is this dude socked me and ran off. So I jump up and chase after him. Now, I got a homie that was right there next to me. Cuz got up, you know what I'm saying, you know, and came immediately. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, ask. I didn't stop and look. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm fisting to go get this motherfucker. You can't. I'm thinking he just socked me, though. So I get around the corner, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying, and I chase him. But now the other whites was coming to get me. And all the Crips that was behind me that seen the dude stab me. I didn't know I was stabbed. He stabbed me in the behind my ear. So I'm leaking. I'm chasing the dude down, but I got long hair. So, you know what I mean? I chased the dude down, you know what I mean? You know, square him up. Stop running from me, coward. So I guess he had dropped a knife or whatever, you know what I mean? So he put his hands up, tall, skinny youngster. But this was the first time I didn't know who he was, you know what I'm saying, and the dude was like, you know what I'm saying, this is NLR. What the fuck is NLR? I didn't know, you know what I mean, And this was, you know what I'm saying, this was 94, 95. And so, you know what I'm saying, me and him mixing it up and we fighting, you know what I'm saying, I don't realize what's going on all over the yard because, you know what I'm saying, the white boys that was coming to get me got intercepted by the Crips that seen me get stabbed and jumped up and immediately came. And on the real, you know what I'm saying, Duck, East Coast, School, East Coast, I love y'all, cuz. Psycho Mike, Linwood neighborhood, cuz, I love you, Lo. Cuz, Kamasi, SOS. Appreciate you, bruh. It was, you know what I'm saying, Posse from Swan, Young Damu. Hey, I appreciate you, bruh. You know what I mean? There was people that stepped up. And white boys, you know what I'm saying, was getting laid out around the yard. You know what I mean? So I'm not realizing me and this dude mixing it up. This is where my focus is. So then, you know what I'm saying, the dude, you know what I'm saying, I pick him up and slam him and he leaking. His forehead is busted open, right? So he backs up in front of the sally port in front of the building. This is my building. This is the building I live in. So the officer knows me because you're going to notice a white crip on the level 4 yard in prison. So, you know what I'm saying, I kind of stand out. So the female officer got the Mini 14 pointed at me and she's like, Patuka, get down. Patuka, get down. And I'm looking like, oh, shit, because she's shaking. You can see the gun shaking. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, you know what I mean, if you see somebody shaking, they scared, they gonna shoot. So, you know what I'm saying, I put my hands up and I go to get down. When I go to get down, I put my hands down on a push-up to get on the ground. And when I do that, I see the whole sleeve of my blue shirt. I got the blue button-up shirts, prison, prison guard. And the whole sleeve is red. It's bleed blood. So I don't know how bad. I don't know if I'm going to die. So when I go down like this and I see the blood, I immediately just charge straight after the dude. He's getting down too because he's busted open. You know what I mean? Plus, I done been socket on him. So he's a little dazed. So the police, you know what I'm saying, I run him straight into the door of the building. So now I'm under where she can't shoot. And I'm on him, bing, bing, bing. So then you hear the boot steps of the police coming up behind me. And when I look back, I see a cop, you know what I'm saying, a few feet away. And I dive out the way on the grass off the roadway. So they grab this dude. And I get on the ground, and then another cop comes and jumps on my back. And I'm like, I'm hit. I can't breathe. Because I learned, you know what I mean, if you tell them you can't breathe, you get immediate medical attention. So I don't know how bad. I don't know if I'm going to die. I don't know what. All I know is I'm leaking. I got, you know what I'm saying, my own blood all down my arm. So, you know what I mean, anyway, it gets vicious sometimes inside these situations. But back to Corcoran. So Corcoran was a hard place to, to do time, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I had, you know what I'm saying, it was some learning experiences that I needed to help me to get to where I am right now, because if I wouldn't have went through the things that I went through, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I figure, you know what I'm saying, the man upstairs kept me around for something, so we're gonna be here to find out what it is. Until then, I'm still Joey. I'm still, you know what I'm saying, can't stop, won't stop. I'm trying to live, love, and learn. Holla at me, people. Check me out.